spirits up. We're here tonight, and that's enough. The party's on, the feeling's here, that only comes this time of year.
We're simply having a wonderful Christmas time. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. The word is out about the town to lift a glass. I don't look down.
The party's on, the spirit's up. We're here tonight, and that's enough.
We're simply having a wonderful Christmas time. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. The children's choir sings a song. The children's choir sings a song. And everyone can sing along. Yeah!
The party's on, the feeling's here, that only comes this time of year. Oh,
We're simply having a wonderful Christmas time. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
Hello.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all.
I will twist you. Twisted man. Okay, let's see. Haha. Now I just need to stand still, which is not going to work. Good evening. I am really excited to see so many of you out here. I was just speaking to someone and said the past couple of years between COVID and nobody being allowed out of their houses, and last year we had crazy weather on this night. It was the first snowfall and people were spinning out on the roads and there was black ice and it was horrible. And so tonight I was really concerned when I saw the weather this morning that was going to be freezing rain, and I thought, oh, we're going to have another dud. But there are a decent amount of you. For those of you who have failing eyesight, I suggest you move closer because I am going to demonstrate a couple of things in front here. If you're fine with sitting at the back, that's absolutely fine as well. So I wanted to introduce a couple of people, one of whom has just left the room. So I'll start with people that are in the room. Dale, our Kettle scheduler. Right there at the back. For those of you online, you don't get to see him. And in front of him so Dale is the Kettle scheduler. He's the guy that you will get hold of if you want to change a shift on the phone, if you want to schedule a new shift on the phone. It's his bell ringer, he calls it. And then in front of Dale, we have Wayne Hendry, who's going to be doing our driving for us this year. So if you see him coming to take a kettle, please don't stop him. It's his job. We want him to take the kettle. We also have one or two other people that'll be picking up kettles, but they will always have a name badge in front of them, or they'll be branded. That sounds terrible. They will be wearing branding, and so you will know that they're from the Salvation Army and they're trustworthy. The other two people that I really want to introduce to you are our new officers. You might note that Captain Corey is not standing next to me. That's because he now lives in Kitchener. And so instead of the Fifields, they sent us the Goyaks, Majors Orst and Tracy Goyak. And we're really excited to have them here. They've been a great blessing. They've jumped in feet first. If you've been watching our Sunday services, you would already recognize them. If you have not, this is they, and we are really grateful that they're here. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to quickly recap the history and the mission of the Salvation Army and Christmas Kettles. And so, I'm going to see if this works on here. It does. So, first Christmas Kettle was brought about in the States in San Francisco in 1891 by Captain Joseph McPhee. He realized that they needed to raise funds, extra funds to do what they were doing, and they actually brought out a big black pot, and they hung it from a stand similar to this, and their slogan was to keep the pot boiling. And the idea was to keep the money flowing, to make sure we've got enough funds to feed people. And then Canada got their first kettle in 1903 in Toronto, and since then we've got over 2,000 kettles across Canada every year, and it grows each year. I mean, we are hopefully successfully adding an extra kettle this year. And so each ministry unit does what they need to, and so it's really, truly incredible. And the goal is, obviously, as always, the Salvation Army exists to share the love of Jesus Christ, meet human needs, and be a transforming influence in the communities of our world. Whether you believe in Jesus or not, that's what the Salvation Army believes, and we're really grateful that you're willing to partner with us in the good work that we do, feeding the community, clothing the community, serving the community in the ways that we do. We just this week started our Christmas hamper applications, and it's just been an influx of people coming in wanting to have a special Christmas for their families, and we're really grateful we can do that. And so the first thing, any one of you have heard the word Volgistics? Somebody's bandied that about at you, VicNet. And that's how you sign up to be, or that's how you register yourself, sign up for shifts. And if you don't know about that, then we might need to send you to our website, kamloops-salvationarmy.ca, to sign up as either a volunteer or to make sure that you've got the correct website, the link to sign up for a shift. And how that all looks is, and this is where it might be tricky if you're sitting at the back, what I could also do is I could send you this PowerPoint to the Kettle volunteers. So VicNet, Volgistics, has brought out a new website layout. They also have a really great cell phone app called VicNet, VICNET, and it is really, much easier to use than the old interface. You'll see you have 1, 2, 3 options on that side and one on the top right. So the middle one is schedule, and when you click on that, it looks like this. It brings up a calendar, just like it used to always bring up a calendar, but it's a lot easier to navigate. You now click filter, and when filter pops open, you can actually go all the way down with your selections to a specific kettle location. You choose kettles, business locations, and then you want to volunteer at Aberdeen, or you want to volunteer on the North Shore at the liquor store, and you can go down, select that, and then that little filter is going to say filter applied, and then only what you've selected to look at, only those available shifts will come up. You select the shift you'd like, you click on schedule. It's going to ask you, are you sure you want to do this? The answer is always yes. You make sure that you can actually do it, and you click on schedule me, and that is it. It's as simple as that. It's not complicated. It goes straight back where you had schedule. It'll actually show you where you're scheduled on that calendar. The next thing, once you've done the kettle, I'd like you to go back on the website or on the app and click on service. It's really important for us for stats, not just for us locally, but also for our head offices to keep track of stats. So once you've done a shift, you go in, you click service, you select the date you served, the time you served, and the location you were at, and you click post. And what that does is that enables us to see exactly how many people did hours at Kettles, how many total hours we had, and I can report that back to our head office. And it helps with processing applications for grants and the like. And obviously, as you know, we need funds, which is why we're doing this. So that's a really great way of supporting us as well. And the last thing that I want to point out on Volgistics is the top right corner. Yours won't say Liesel. Mine says Liesel. Yours will have your name. And you'll click on that, and it'll give you a couple options. One is you can go into your profile, and so you can change if your phone number changes or your email address changes. You can go in and change that. The other thing that you can do there is you can opt in for text messaging, which I'm going to talk a bit about later. But it's a really great way of making sure you don't miss a shift. It sends you a text in the day before that says, don't forget, tomorrow you're at Aberdeen at 10 o'clock. And it's just a really great reminder as that just little extra security to make sure you don't miss a shift. All right, so before we do the next thing, I suppose I need Taylor. Can you grab her? Or at least just grab the names that she has in her hand. I was going to do a door prize draw to make sure you're all still with me. Focused. So while she gets that, I am going to start on the next section just to be respectful of time. Code of conduct. The words code of conduct very simply mean it's a set of rules around behavior for the volunteers to follow when standing on a kettle. Dale has this really great thing he wants me to create, which I haven't yet done because I don't have the time yet, but to make a list of the 10 commandments, the 10 kettle commandments. So like, do not smoke at the kettle. Do not drink at the kettle. Do not have a chit-chat with your neighbor you haven't seen in 10 years at the kettle. And if you do, just make sure you're paying attention to the people coming. Okay. If it was that simple. Larry. And now it's a second guess because I don't know which one I've taken out of my pocket. Aha! So Larry, you win a $25 Spice gift card. I hope you like Indian food. There you go. All right. Now that we're all awake again. So our head office has updated the little bell ringer video, which is really great because it used to talk about COVID and we were trying to live without all of that. And we're going to watch.
Hi, welcome to Bell Ringers 101. A few quick tips to help you on your way. Be sure to say thank you. These donations have such a great impact on the community. And now it's very simple to donate. Simply a tap, thanks to Tip Tap. And look your best. If not in uniform, black pants and a white shirt, and if outdoors, bundle up. Now ring that bell, but with respect for the nerves of those around you. No eating, reading, smoking, texting, talking on phones, or listening to tunes at your kettle. And please don't leave your kettle unattended or obstruct the flow of traffic around you. And of course, be punctual, and please stay committed to your assigned shift. We kindly ask that you not speak to the media, and let your local coordinator know if you are approached. And finally, share the love of Jesus, because that's what we're all about.
We good? The only reason I'm checking in with him is for the people online who got to watch that big screen. So, we touch on a couple of things in the rest of the slideshow. The first one is report for duty. If you've said you're going to be at a kettle shift, please be at a kettle shift. If you're not able to be at a kettle shift, you can very easily give Dale a call. So we'll go through these guys. If you're unable to work your shift, give Dale a call. So his number is the top one on here, in case you've lost it. One of these will always be at a kettle stand. So if you're there, the number will be there. But if you're not there because you can't be there, then that's a little bit trickier. Dale does have a bunch of business cards here tonight. But the number, I'm going to say it now, if you want to take it down, is 250. And I see everyone scramble for a pen. 819-0843, and it is on the screen. It is the same as every other year. So we have kept it the same, which is dead simple. We're really grateful we've been able to do that. So if you've had it before, you will still have it. Okay. If you would like to be on the on-call list, so an on-call list is a list of people we phone at the last minute and we say, hey, we haven't been able to find someone for the 2 o'clock shift tomorrow at Independent, can you take it? If you want to be on that on-call list, please let Dale know. You can even let him know tonight. He'll make a note and put a little flag on the system next to your name, and then we know that you are one of the people that we can phone in a pickle. Please try and be about 5 10 minutes is extreme, but 5 minutes early for your shift. What that does is does two things. One, it gives the person ahead of you the peace of mind that you've arrived and that they know that they can finish their shift and hand over to you. And two, it allows us the ease that if you arrive there 5 minutes early and that person needs to leave early, then they can also leave early. It's just a really great way of being respectful to each other. Please remain at the kettle until somebody comes to relieve you, the next person. If they aren't there 5-10 minutes at the beginning of their shift and you really can't stay, please give Dale a call. We can arrange then with the store. Most stores have agreed to take, you will see it when it's here, the bubble with the money in. You'll put it back in the red bag and you'll go and hand it into customer service. There's one place where it's not customer service and I'll highlight that for you. But give Dale a call immediately and say to him, hey, can you follow up for me? Because he can find out if that person's on their way, if they're sick, if they forgot to let us know, if something's happened. And it's just another way of having good communication with us. And then this ties in with that. If the next host is severely delayed, then we'll ask you to take that bubble to wherever it needs to go, that it can be kept safe until either a driver can go and pick it up or we can find somebody else to take over the kettle. Now, what's in the red bag? So if you are volunteer number 1 for the day, then you will find a hopefully empty bubble in your bag, and that goes onto the stand, and you screw this guy in. Okay, then. Don't screw it too tight, otherwise the drivers are upset with you. I thought I made it too tight. They do have tools in their car, though. That being said, please help, if you're the last person, please help the driver remember not to take this with them, because it makes it tricky for the person that starts the next day to hang the bubble. So in the bag, we've got 2 pinafores if you want to bring a friend, or if you have a child coming with you. Children are a really great way of getting people to give money, especially children dressed up. So preferably a child that you know, but bring a child with you. Put reindeer ears on them, a Santa hat, and put a penny on them, and you'll see lots of people will give you money. That, or people, if you've got a spare crutch at home, just bring it. Great way of getting money. Okay. There are also going to be bells in the bag. Please make sure that you don't take these home by accident. Putting in a pocket and then you get home and, why am I jingling? It's because you took my bells home. We have candy canes to hand out. We have, for the outdoor locations, we add in these hot pads. So they're really easy. The minute you tear the packet open, the chemicals on the inside of the little hot pad activate. Put it in your pockets. You can put it in your gloves. If you want to, you can even slip it in your boot. It really stays warm for a good 8 hours, and it's a really incredible way of just adding a little bit of warmth while you're outside. In each bag, you will also find a little Ziploc bag that has some envelopes in it and some slips of paper. So the envelopes are for people who want to make a cash donation and receive a receipt, a tax receipt. So we do tax receipts for $20 and up. So if they make a cash donation and they want a receipt, they must themselves put their cash in here. There is a pen. They fill in the information, and then they have to put their envelope in here. It's advised that Kettle volunteers don't touch any of that. It's their responsibility to make their donation, and it's our way of protecting you guys that, oh, but they took my money. No. If they make a donation on the tap and they want a tax receipt, again, it has to be $20. There is a little tear-off slip receipt in here as well that they can fill in. If they say, why do I need to put the last 4 digits of my credit card? That's so that I can find the transaction on the dashboard so that I know that they actually made it. Most important is their name and their telephone number so I can contact them. And then that also goes straight in here, and then we go and we look at those after the fact. So that's this little bag. There are volunteer stickers. So if you really don't want to wear a pinafore, there's a volunteer sticker that you can stick on, and we replace those each day. And then each bag gets a double-sided information tag. Oh, I forgot I needed to click next over here, but I have a really amazing husband. He's really amazing. So on this double-sided information sheet, and I sort of did it in the right order as well. That's amazing. Sort of. Let's say I didn't. So on here, there's information about where the kettle is supposed to be located. So this is the Aberdeen bag. It'll tell you where it's supposed to be located and the information you need to know. So Aberdeen, I chose it specifically. So Aberdeen, we are allowed to ring bells, not crazily. There is no music, there is no dancing, there is no singing. They're very strict with their rules. Where that kettle stand is where it remains. We're not allowed to move away from the pillar. And then the last thing is, don't approach customer service. They don't want to know about us. This you get and receive at the Eclipse store, which is just, if you're standing at the kettle, you'll look away from the elevators and the escalators and you'll look directly into it. And so they've agreed to keep the bag overnight for us. If we're in an emergency, they will keep money for us as well. And that's where you drop it off if you have to leave before the driver gets there in the evening. So that's why I chose this bag. And then on the back, I've got information about donations and how to deal with it, some general FAQ. And on the back, I've got contact information, which is really important if you need to get hold of one of us. My office number's there, Dale's cell number is there, and then there's a list of the drivers. And I've put on a whole list. It seems long, but it's just to cover our bases if any one of them need to come. And then if you have any people that have really weird questions or the media, then I've put Major Orist's office number here as well, and you can hand that to them so that they know who to contact. And then the last thing that's in this bag, which is not on my slide, is a tip-tap battery. And I'm not going to plug it in now because we're going to get to tip-tap later. There is a distinct possibility, based on the battery life, that the first person who arrives at a kettle where there is a tip-tap will need to plug it in. But I'm going to show you, so it's not complicated. If you can plug your cell phone in to charge, you're good. So I will show you how to plug the battery in. But if you come to a kettle and these lights are not on, it means that it's not plugged in or the battery's dead. On the back, there's a little battery pouch. If there's no battery in there, then please look in the bag for the battery because you'll need to plug it in. So I will go over that and show you about plugging that in. Oh, no. Oh, no. We don't want to crush the candy canes. Okay. Oh, no. Stop that. Okay. Let's move on. Location, location, location. Okay. It's really important. Some locations do tend to do better than others. That doesn't mean I only want you to volunteer at those locations. The liquor stores do really well, even though they're really cold. And that's one of our emptier locations. Look at me plugging. So we have Independent on the North Shore and Safeway. They're both indoors. Independent is considerably warmer because it's not near a door, but Safeway also has a decent amount of foot traffic. Then we've got the BC Liquor Store here on the North Shore, which is an outdoor location. Downtown, we have London Drugs. Again, it's an outdoor location, and it only runs 3 shifts a day. We didn't want to go into the evening just for safety's sake. Then up at Aberdeen, I've already mentioned about all the different little nitty-gritty rules at Aberdeen. And we were at the Columbia Liquor Store up in Sahali at the Save-On Center, which is also outdoors. Costco only starts on the 9th of December, but it is one of our most amazing locations. So if you want to be there, you need to go on and schedule yourself because there's very few shifts left. Freshco, we're trying something different this year with Freshco. We're only doing Fridays and Saturdays over there. It's a quieter location, but it's very rewarding to be able to get people to donate there, even though it is quieter. It's a bit busier on a Friday and a Saturday, which is why we chose that. And Save On Foods, you'll see I've got a ×2, because this year we are trying 2 individual Saturdays at Westside. They have already been filled. However, if you're interested in volunteering at that Save On, let me know, because I'd like to make a list so that we can see next year if it's a viable option for us to have it open every Saturday. Next year, my dream is that we can add 3 Save-Ons, the one there, the one in the Brock, and the one in Valley View, but I need volunteers to man them to make it feasible. So if you're interested in any of those 3 locations, please let Dale or myself know for next year so that we can already build that list. Superstore, indoors, can be a little chilly, but still a good location. It's quite busy. And Walmart is a really great location as well, but do dress warm. So those are our locations. When it comes to bell ringing, just be aware of your surroundings. So for example, I'm trying to think of one. So Independent, you're right there by the cashiers. We're out there for 8 hours. Don't go at it. A little bit of a jingle. Merry Christmas. Have a little chat. A little bit of a jingle. It's meant to be a reminder, not an annoyance to the location. They are amazing. They let us in their stores. They welcome us in, and they want us there. And so we don't ever want them to turn around and say, we don't want the Salvation Army back. Okay. Health and safety. And before we get to health and safety, we're going to do another one of these. It's a lot of names in here, and I only have 2 more door prizes. Sad. Daphne! Okay. And Daphne, I have a $25 gift card for Earl's. There you go, my darling. Aren't you glad you came? For all of you that don't win a gift card, I have a bunch of business cards that I can give you. Make you feel special. Okay, health and safety. So thankfully, we have no COVID requirements this year. Obviously, if you want to wear a mask, you want to do hand sanitizing, feel free. You need to do what makes you feel comfortable at a Kettle. I don't want you to feel like you're uncomfortable at a Kettle. We will not be providing masks, though, so if you do want to wear one, you will need to bring your own. Safety. If someone does try and steal a Kettle, it has happened, back away. Don't confront them. What's in here is not worth your life, your safety, your health, your well-being, not at all. In fact, we found that when someone does steal it, we get extra donations. I'm not saying we're encouraging it. I'm just saying, don't worry about the money, okay? So don't confront them. In many cases, we do have security cameras in the area. The 3 things you need to remember is we report it to the police, we report it to mall security, and you report it to myself. So you give me a call, you can let Dale know. And in fact, I'm trying to think where you would get that. Nope. Your best bet is to phone. I was trying to think if I'd put my cell phone number anyway. Your best bet is to phone Dale on the cell phone, and he will let me know immediately that something has happened. And then we'll deal with it. But we don't want you approaching anyone who looks like they're going to try and take the money from you. Your safety is paramount to us. So let the cops deal with the criminals. Ways to give. So obviously, we have the Kettle. Is she really your cousin? That's so cool. I didn't know that. Okay, so in here, we can receive cash and we can receive checks. Tip Tap, we only have 6 of them that look like this. And then we have another 3 that look like this. So these 6, they're all at indoor locations, so you won't ever find them at a liquor store. We've got them on the North Shore at Independence and Safeway. When Costco opens, the independent one does go up to Costco, so the end of December you won't find one at Independence. Then we've got one at Aberdeen, we've got one at Walmart, and one at Superstore, and one at Save-On, up in Sahali. So it's all our big indoor locations because we find that's where we get the most people, the most traffic, we get the most out of the rental of the units. There are other ways for people to give, and so they can donate online through our website, kamlipsalvationarmy.ca. They can send in a check, and they can donate in person at our offices, or by phone via credit card, or even there is a little slip that goes out with our Christmas mailer where people can also fill that in to donate by credit card if they don't want to come to a Kettle. So this is where I'm going to ask my husband to zoom in the camera, and we're going to start off by turning this around. That didn't sound good. I just broke it. Oops. Oh well, they told us we shouldn't use them again this year. So this little, it's just leaning over because it's top heavy. So this is the little pocket. So I'm going to show you, you're going to slide this in with the little battery thing facing you, and then you're going to plug it in. The bottom unit goes in the right because it won't fit in any of the others. Okay, now we're going to turn it back, and hopefully I'm not going to break it again. I suppose you can only really break it once. Can't believe I did that. Oops. Oh well. No, what you doing? What you doing? Okay, so now, if my husband can zoom in on the actual units. No? Okay. So you'll see on each tip tap, there are 4 little spots for lights. As soon as you plug it in, the lights start cycling. So they go green, 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 green. When the first light is a solid green, it means it can be tapped. Throughout the day, those lights will also cycle as it reconnects to the server, it uploads information, it downloads information. The only thing you need to know is if there are no lights, it's not a good idea. There need to be lights. If all 4 lights flash and it beeps at you, it's downloading an update, don't worry about it. They told us that you need to listen carefully to the beep to know whether a transaction has been successful. I have yet to hear that beep unless I'm in a dead quiet room. So in the mall, you won't be able to tell. So if it goes solid green at the end, we're going to assume that it has worked. People can generally check on their phones because you can tap with a near NFC. What does it stand for? NFC device. So if your watch is set up, if your phone is set up with Google Pay, debit, credit, Visa, MasterCard, all of those, they can tap. Hold it on, it'll beep, and then you're done. If they want to tap consecutively, so you have some generous soul that wants to tap 5 times with a 20, and let him tap, let it beep, wait until it's a solid green light, tap again. Otherwise, one of those taps is not going to go through, or even worse, you're going to confuse the tiles. So I'm now going to plug these guys in. Okay, give me 3 seconds. Turn it slightly what? Like that? Like that? No? Sorry. Okay. So anyway, it cycles through those lights. I don't know if any of you in this sanctuary can see this. Cycles through, and eventually they're all going to be a solid green. So on this one, you can see it is a solid green. Some of them, I am trying to see if I can actually plug all of these units into what we call shore power, into a mains plug, because then we don't need to worry about batteries at all. But I don't know how many of the locations we can do that with. So keep an eye on it if you're at a location where this is. It just needs to be on. If you notice, so you will see on the back, and I mean when we're done here, you can come and have a look, because I'm not going to turn it again and break it again. You will see that there is a little LED screen on the back of the battery, and it tells you how much percent is left. So if you see it's at like 2% when you start your shift, please phone Dale, because we'd like to replace that if we really have to. In fact, somebody might be coming and bringing a battery already, because it might be a scheduled time. But if it's, say, 6 o'clock in the evening and you know that kettle's still there for 3 hours and it's somehow 2%, please do let us know, because we do make a decent amount of money using these, and we don't want to miss out on donations. These guys are going to be at 3 locations this year, permanently the whole season. One will be at Home Hardware, the one on Joseph Way. One will be at the new bistro on the North Shore, the Cutting Board Bistro, the gluten-free bakery. And then the third one will be at the Real Deals gift store on Lawn Street. So if anyone you know is going to either of those stores, please say, hey, there's a kettle there. Make sure you tap. Okay, we've spoken a bit about communication, and we don't want a appease message to end up as a fleas message. So it's really important to have clear communication. Opt in for text message on Volgistics. It's just a really easy way of making sure you get those reminders. If you are concerned about it irritating you, it will only let you know when you have a shift scheduled. So in February next year, if you're not volunteering for the Salvation Army, you're not going to get a text message. You don't need to worry about that. It just sends you a regular reminder for your actual shifts. I also send out a weekly newsletter with updates. I send with some photos and stories from the kettles. If you have a story about why you volunteer at the kettles, or some amazing experience you've had at the kettle, so somebody came and they donated and they told you why they donated, do send those to me in an email, because I really find it encourages other Kettle volunteers to remember why we do this. And it's a great way of lifting our spirits if we're feeling down about something. And then I wish I could be Oprah and give you each a car, but this is the Salvation Army, and we're trying to make money, not give away money. And so this is a really great time to do my third door prize. Oh, I need to take this out first. What? Man, that would be amazing. No. Florence. And yours is a free extra large pizza from Fresh Slice. There you go. Oh, sorry. I nearly made you happy and her really unhappy. So, we do like to recognize our volunteers, and I'm really glad there's so many of you out here tonight, because we get to give you some hot chocolate and some cookies and make you feel extra special. But we also do draw prizes throughout draw prizes throughout the Kettle season. So I have a little spreadsheet, and I put everyone's names in that is volunteered in that week, and at random we pick 2 names, and they get some volunteer prizes. So it doesn't matter how many times you volunteer, your name goes in. That being said, if you're at the Kettle and you're dressed like Santa, or you've got your reindeer ears on, or you've got a cool string of lights around your neck, take a photo. Get someone to help you send it to us, or post it on your Facebook and tag our Facebook page. Make sure we know about you, because we have got some great bigger prizes that we would like to hand out this year, and we would like to put your name in the draw for that. The other ones that we would like to recognize this year are best Christmas props, Kettle Kids. So if you have, like I said, a really cute grandson, reindeer ears, little jingle bell, does wonders. Or if you yourself want to dress up in some fancy attire, please make sure we know about it. Our goal for this year is the same as last year, keeping in mind what inflation is doing to people's pockets. And we're pretty excited, and I feel decently confident that we're going to make our goal, which we can only do with the help of you guys. And then the last little piece of information, which is rather important, is some contact information. So I will leave this bit up on the screen. That's me, the Kettle coordinator. We have Dale, who is our Kettle scheduler. And then we have Major Oris Goyak, who is our core officer, one of our core officers. Yeah, if you need anything during the season, please contact myself or Dale. The email address is the one that I've been sending you information through, and Dale's been contacting you through kettles.camloops@salvationarmy.ca. Dale's cell phone number is, like I said, that cell phone number that you've had the whole season, and then my office number is the office number here, extension 203. And the last thing I have to say to you is thank you. With your help, every 2 hours that you stand at a Kettle, you help us give hope. You help us feed our community, you help us clothe our community, you help us provide family programming for our community. We've got an amazing program called Brave for teen girls. We've just been doing amazing family fun nights where we have little kids coming here and having a meal together with their family and playing games. And it's just incredible to know exactly where your money goes. And if you want to know more, there is more on here that you can have a little read while you're busy doing the kettles. If there's no one, you can scan it. But yeah, we need to say thank you to you, because without our volunteers, we would not be able to do this. And so we're really grateful for you, and so I would like to applaud you. And that's that. There is, you want me to go back one? I can do that. Oh. Try one more. There we go. There is hot chocolate and cookies just outside this door on this side. Yes, sorry, there's a question. Okay. It's a really good question, and I'm glad you brought it up. I'm more than happy to let a Kettle get past this point, because I've had people tell me it's full and then it's down here. Anywhere probably past this point, and you can give us a call. It looks fuller than what it is, because you can still shove a whole bunch of money in there. I know you're worried about security risk, and if you are feeling uncertain and it feels uncomfortable, you can let us know. Every afternoon, we do have somebody that drives around, all 6 afternoons, between 1 and 3:30 for our bigger kettles. They actually swap the bubble out. They're swapping out batteries. They're checking in on outdoor locations, making sure our volunteers haven't frozen, handing out some coffee vouchers. And so if it's anywhere between sort of 1 and 3, rest assured we're coming to swap it out. If it's at 5 o'clock and it's somehow miraculously gotten full and it's up here, let us know and we can make a plan. Because the Walmart kettle only ends after 7. So that's a really good question. Thank you. Any other questions? What about our feet on the cement? We have a mat, a little mat tile. Jordan's Flooring has graciously donated us little flooring mat tiles, and each location gets one. If you don't have one at your location, please let us know, because they do tend to grow feet, and we can always have another one delivered. We do have a couple extra. Any other questions? Yes. This thing? This one you don't need to worry about, because this is at only those other stores. But this guy, you don't need to do anything. So this is the credit card. Just like you pay at a store. I don't have a credit card on me. You just tap it. You're going to make a donation. This is how I do it. This is the first donation to the Christmas Kettles 2023 Kamloops campaign. But I want to wait that we can see if we can hear it. Do the 20. Oh, I was going to do the 5. I'm kind. Okay. And it went back to green. And thank you for... There you go. And it beeped again. And that tells me it's successful. Okay. So, that was a really good one. Any other questions?
Anybody else want to try?
Calendars? No. So we had a decent amount of complaints about how small they were, and that many people couldn't read them, and so we decided against printing the calendars this year. We just have the candy canes to hand out. We good? Fantastic. If you do have any other questions and you don't want to ask them out in front of everyone else, you can come and chat to Dale or myself, or you can pop them in an email or a text. Have a really good evening and enjoy some hot chocolate and cookies. Oh, yes, and it has been recorded and live streamed on our YouTube channel, which is the Salvation Army Kamloops, and a link to that will go onto our website as well under Kettles 2023, and so you will be able to send people there. Anybody else that wants to go and watch it, they are able to go and watch it after the fact. It'll probably be available by tomorrow morning. Okay, have a good evening. There is no password this year. We do not do passwords. This is a good one. Am I still live or no? There are no passwords. We work on the honor system.